Power, take your catapult off so that they can grab it. We're going to start off with Power Echols. Sorry, I'll take you through it.
Power, thank you. Y'all know the drill. Raise your hand. I'll work my way down the list. Michael?
Morning, Power. So obviously I know one of your guys' goals this season is to make the ACC championship, and those odds are a little longer now that you've lost the two conference games. So was there a moment, or has there been a moment since that game on Saturday where you just kind of thought to yourself, well, now what?
No, we just kind of took our loss on the chin and went right back to work. Go into work, correct the things that we made mistakes on, and continue to push forward and not look back in the past. So.
Jeremiah?
Hey, good morning, Power. I want to ask you real quick. Yesterday, we were talking to Cayman, and he had made the point that sometimes you guys will can a play, if you guys feel like it's not effective, like either y'all will go to Gene about that or maybe he'll bring that up. But just kind of from your perspective, like what's the process of that looking like, kind of canning a play and kind of redirecting course there?
Really just going back and seeing where the mistakes were made and how we could have been better in a certain look and how a certain call probably would have put us in a better position. So more so just adjusting to what we see and how we should best play certain things.
And then I guess like the other side of that, is the process similar to, wanting to kind of replicate plays or like keep them more and running certain plays more often, if that makes sense?
Yeah, seeing the success rate and, the hit chart and just seeing what works for us, what we feel the most comfortable in, and just going from there.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Luciano?
Hey, Power. Thanks for your time. Hope we're doing well. What have been the main talking points between the defensive players in the locker room after these past two games? Have you felt like there was something important for you to say there? And do you see this upcoming game as an opportunity to bounce back?
Honestly, just only talking points been just get better and correct the mistakes we've made and just be the people we know we are, be the defense we know we can be, and go out there and just execute.
Adam?
Power, I was going to ask you something else, but when you're saying just now about being the defense that you can be, do you think you guys lost that the last two games, sort of lost your way a little bit? Is that the right way to describe it, or how would you describe it?
I would just describe it as we just didn't we came up short. I'll say we came up short. We didn't do what we came out there to do initially, and we just got to go back to work and get better and move on. Honestly, I feel like that's what we got to do.
Was looking at the some of the advanced stats from the Georgia Tech game, and they had you for 14 missed tackles as a team, and that's the most you have had this season. Like, why do you think that was? Why do you think sort of missed tackles was an issue? And is that something you all like put a focus on? Is that something Gene talks to you about, or do you look at other stats more than like a missed tackle stat?
I mean, you put athletes in space and give them two-way goals. I mean, things can happen, but honestly, we just got to go back to work, focus on the details, stay inside out, and finish the plays. I mean, it's really not like a big talking point because we know we can make tackles. We know we have sure tacklers, and honestly, we just got to come out ready to play and just do our job.
Thanks, man.
Andrew?
Hey, Power, I want to stay on what Adam was asking you about. Gene told us Monday that one of the things that he thought you guys need to work on a little bit more at this point in the season was tackling in space. So the last 2 days of practice, have you done a little bit more of that than you had been maybe in the previous month or so?
I would say yes, sir. Yeah, we've just worked on tackling. Worked on, obviously, I feel like we just worked on everything, to be honest, just the scheme, the tackling, just getting back to what we know best and just doing what we do.
A game like you have coming up this weekend, I would imagine human nature being it's sometimes maybe tough for guys in a Power 5 league to get fired up at the same level for a conference game as you have a team like Campbell coming in. But with so many points of emphasis on things for you guys to improve, do you think that the motivation level this week might be a little bit higher than maybe past experiences you've had when you play an FCS game this time of year?
The motivation is always high because the next game is the only opportunity you have to showcase yourself. improve yourself. So for us, it's every game we play is like a big game for us. We don't necessarily look down to our opponent or anything like that. We respect everybody we play, and it's just another big game because it's the next game.
Well, staying on that, and I get that, and I know that human nature sometimes does take over. However, how important is this weekend, regardless of the opponent, for you guys just getting back to doing the things that you were doing earlier in the year on your side of the ball, making the run fits, winning the battle at the snap, and setting the edge, and doing the things that maybe weren't there as much the last couple of weeks?
Since the urgency is, it's always important because we don't got a lot of opportunities. We only got 4 games left, so we're gonna take advantage of everything we get.
Thanks, Power. Appreciate it.
Adam?
Power, a couple of weeks ago, you were named a midseason All-American. I was wondering if you had ever even heard of that as a thing. Did that surprise you at all to hear that you had won that award?
Yeah, I didn't know what that was either. Just I guess they think I'm playing good, so honestly, just go out there to do my job and play for my brothers and my team.
Yeah, did you hear anything from the guys about that? Like, being named that, like Sed or Ruck, some of these other guys who are having great seasons?
No, we kind of just looked at it, was like, all right, that's cool, and we just moved on.
All right, man. Thanks.
Jeremiah?
Yeah, just to ask you about Campbell, I think it was Mac the other day was saying that kind of talking about their quarterback, some of the things that he does well. When you've looked at that Campbell offense on film, what are some of the things that you kind of identify as their strengths, and just what are some of the things that you feel they do well?
They got a good system. They got run RPO like instead in their offense, so run pass option, and they got a good quarterback, an athletic quarterback. He can put it on the money and make moves in space if he needs to.
All right, wraps up, Adam.
Yeah, sorry, jumping back in here. Yeah, Power Mac was saying the other day that he was talking about some of the other FCS games you've played, and he was mentioning the Wofford game a couple of years ago, and he said he felt like the energy just was not good, even though you won that game. He said it just wasn't a great feeling. Like, is just the energy sort of an important thing to have ramped up for this week? Is that an important area?
Like I said, every game is important. Every time we step out on the field, we have to bring our juice and our energy, and just know who we're playing for and what we're playing for, and how much is at stake. So I feel like every game is a big game. Can't stress it enough.
Good deal, man. Thanks.
Power. Thanks, man.
No problem.
Thank you.